remember, Hrishikesh, you were telling me about your encounter with sloth bears during one of your field trips. So, field visits, I mean. So, given that sloth bears are, an aggressive type of from the bear family, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been a very pleasant experience. But what could you give our audience an idea of all these kind of field visit shenanigans and other memorable experiences that you would have had while on your while in the field?
Yes. Like back in 2017, I was volunteering on a project. Like we were camera trapping for the tiger census in Melghat Tiger Reserve. So Melghat Tiger Reserve is one of its kind. So the mountains, the forest type is unique in itself. So while working, we have to shift on different camps, and these camps were like located in very rural areas. So just like shifting from another camp, we met a forest guard who gave us keys of that particular house. Or we don't live in house actually. There are small chowkis, and where the staff is having their headquarters or some bases in jungle. So like once what happened, we were just sitting in veranda, and it was winters, and at that time the forest is like pin drop silence, was on like pin drop silence mode. So our driver was sitting outside, and because of very cold, we were sitting in the structure. So he just heard like some scream or a sneezing voice, and these people are very orthodox, and it was like Amavasya. Then he started exaggerating that, oh sir, it is a ghost and we don't have to stay here and all of it. Then later our project head, Shubham Bhaiya, he was very experienced in these kinds of uh, dealings with people. Then we just stood there and we had torches in our hand, and in next 2 minutes there was a sloth bear with her cup on her back. She just
Oh,
came out of forest, and she just looked
Wow.
at us, and then she went away.
oh
And
no.
Wow.
when and and later when we investigated, like, why did she came here, so
Hmm.
we used to cook our food by
Hmm.
ourselves.
Hmm.
So there was a lot of lemons, and the leftovers we used to wash away from camp, and she used to come there, she used to eat that lemon and the leftovers, and she used to leave. And
Wow.
from for the next 4 to 5 days, every night at 12 o'clock, she used to come, she used to see us, and she used to eat her food, and she used to leave.
Wow.
So
That's.
you yes, so you mentioned like they are very aggressive. So
Yeah.
no animal is aggressive in any terms, I would say. It is the
Mhm.
fight or flight mechanism. If you give him
Yeah.
respectable distance and you maintain that distance, he won't do anything. So that is
Hmm.
what I learned from that incident. And that was very nice to see that female come,
Hmm.
eat that
Hmm.
leftovers and leave. And it was like we were sitting in our veranda and we used to watch that.
Hmm.
And there was no proper fencing also at that time. If she wanted, she could have attacked us, but she did not. And this
That's
gives a
nice.
lesson on field that they are not aggressive. Just
Yeah.
maintain the distance.
Right.
Correct. Unless you disturb them in any way, they're not going to disturb you
Yeah,
at
do
all.
anything. Right.
Yes. And another encounter I'll tell. In 2017, I was very new on the field, and
Hmm.
again we were out there for collecting some data, like
Hmm.
samples.
Hmm.
So this was in Pench and Kara corridors.
Okay.
So that is a forest in central India.
Okay.
So the work we used to do was like in morning we used to leave the camp, and the
Hmm.
forest guards or the one mazdoors who are in charge of that particular small area of the forest used to
Hmm.
we used to take us with them. They used to take us with them, and we used to like we used to walk the transect and collect the samples. So at that day, there were only both of us, and we were walking, and that he was very old forest guard. And while walking, I heard something. It was something like a very deep voice or a call. So I asked him that, what is that? Like, did you heard that? And of course, obvious being old, he was not very like alert about that. So he said nothing, there might be something else. And I thought that he might know that in forest there are some constructions for small roads or small not dams, but small water holes, we can say. So I thought he might know, and he's telling me the right thing. Then again we walked for 5 to 6 steps, and there was again same voice, and this time I could hear it very closely and clearly. It was a very deep growl.
Okay.
And I was like कि भैया हम रुकते हैं and सुनते हैं. And he was like नहीं कुछ नहीं. But I insisted him, please. So then he waited, and when he heard that voice, he was like, he was scared, by like he himself was scared.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
he said कि यहाँ से भागते, चलो चलो चलते. And when we reached at safe distance, he said भैया वो टाइगर था.
Wow.
Oh my
Tiger था,
God.
because that area,
Oh my God.
that area
Oh my
where we were
God.
walking the transit, yes,
Such
there
a
was a resident tiger,
narrow escape.
and he was
That's-
giving, yes, and he was giving us, yes, he was giving us what we can say, like a pre-warning, we can say. He did not attack, and I think he
Yeah.
was not far away from us, but he did every possible thing he could to give us a chance.
Wow.
So that was very
Wow.
eye-opening experience for me. That yes, animals
Very
give you
exciting.
time, and you have to understand it, provided.
Yes. As long as you listen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it being like you said that you were quite new to the field, so that would have been very exciting and adventurous. I mean, a narrow escape, as Anushri said, must have been a different feeling, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was scared for half of the day. Like I was cold when I heard that deep
Understandable.
growl.
No, that's
And you know,
understandable.
like yes. And there's another encounter. This is very funny. So the same project on leopard where I was working, me and my friend Omkar, we were walking on same transects, and this was in agricultural landscapes, and that area is having a very good population of leopards. And the sugarcane is the main crop they harvest in that particular area, and sugarcane is also the shelter for leopards.
Right.
So while walking on the transect, we came across some people. We talked with them and we surveyed them that, have you seen any leopard, or are there any signs of leopard? So they said, yes, we saw it yesterday. And they are very frequent over here. And like there was a very narrow patch, like from both sides there was thick sugar cane and a very small road. And we were walking there, and me and my friend was just talking that, what if a leopard comes across? How, like, you know, we are wildlife enthusiasts. We just want to see animals. And after that, we just passed that patch, and a vehicle passed, and vehicle waited there for 2 minutes. And the guy from vehicle shouted, and again some sugar cane cutters came on that path, and they tried to call us, and we were very far away. And by the time we returned, there was no one of them. And when we reached that spot, from my left, there was a there was a call, very deep growl on my left ear. So it was like he was just charging on me.
Oh my God.
At that
Oh
instant,
my God.
Wow.
we ran to the nearby field, to the tractor, and we called some people. We said,
Wow.
there is a leopard here. We don't have to see, but there is a leopard. And those people were they thought that leopard is some very small thing, we can handle him. So we all grouped, and we reached that spot. And after reaching, we just waited for 2 or 3 minutes, and we were just being very observant about that particular situation. And there was again call, same deep call like leopard. And everyone was scared again, but we stood on the ground. And again there was a following call, and but we were not understanding from where exactly that call is coming and why is not coming outside.
Yeah.
And we just waited for next 5 minutes, and as one of the sugarcane cutters, he sat down and he just pointed at the pipe, and
Huh.
a pipeline through which the water is supplied, or
Huh.
where the water is
Yeah,
irrigated
irrigation
to the
pipe.
sugar canes. Yes, irrigation pipe.
Hmm.
So he said कि भैया वो आवाज pipe से आ रहा है. And when we looked closely, it was empty pipe, and there were vocalizations of empty pipe. You know, our tap wall,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
creates the
Yeah.
sound when there is no water. It was same voice, but it was very similar like leopard. And
Oh
we
God.
laughed for the whole day. Like at the same time, I felt a bit guilty that I created such situation. But it was
But you couldn't have known.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better
Yes.
to be safe than sorry, you know. Thinking it's not a
Yes.
leopard, it's just a pipe, and suddenly it comes bouncing on you.
Yes.
And who would have thought? So I think
These are-
even though if you
I-
felt guilty, since you were actually looking out for leopards, the first thing, if a call of that kind comes, the first thing your mind will direct you towards is a leopard's call. So, but yeah, it's funny. Like a
Yeah.
pipe, who would have thought?
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so
Nice. I
looking,
mean, field visits have so many experiences to look back to.
yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, these are small experiences that added in my mind. And, you know, you have to be very, very, very aware when you're on field. And these are small experiences that taught me for my small research, I would say.
So looking at your journey so far, your experiences have been very thrilling. Like all those three, encounters. First, were the female sloth bear and her cub. They were so patient and they respected um, um, you all, and you also maintained a safe distance. Well, the other time when you were still new to the field, but then you had a chance to be at least in a closer affinity to a tiger, say. And the third time where you were kind of, I wouldn't say you made a fool of yourself, but rather you had a fun experience when you were actually expecting a leopard, but it was just another pipe. So again, yeah, looking at your experiences, they're very thrilling. And, being a person who loves to go out, I would be delighted to be in this situation again. Not being in one, I know that it would have been very scary at that time. But then again, coming back to my next question, yes, although we know that you like to be on the field, you obviously need to be in touch with the with literature, with what's going on in the books. You have to keep an eye on the books. So again, what are you planning? What's your path ahead, your career path ahead, and what would be your journey like after you are done with your masters, your PhD? Would you like to stay ahead and go ahead with research, or do you have anything in your mind?
So at this point, I will tell you that I'm more of interested in studying or understanding the interactions of wild animals living with people, because these are very, very fascinating examples where you can learn like how these people try to coexist with these animals. And there is always a lesson you learn from those particular examples. And my motto, I would say that I want to be a person who will not only reach to other people to make aware that these animals, or I want to be a myth buster, I can say, in terms of wild animals, and to give a right information to the people, and for their better understandings, and of course for the survival of those lovely wild animals out there.
That's
And
wonderful.
after my masters, I would like to continue my field work. And with my field work, yes, I like to do my research, which is going on. to be honest.
And we'd like to hear about it again.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes.
It was wonderful, actually. All these experiences which you just told us.
And the fact that you want to
Thank you.
work as a person who would, because I mean, I'm sure that, even people in villages who have encounters with leopards, for example, in this situation, who have such encounters on a daily basis, where their cattle are just, picked up and these leopards feed
Yeah.
on them. So when you are trying to work as a person who is, as you said, a myth buster, it's nice to know that there's someone to look out for them, someone who would tell them that, give them their space so that they also can give you your space. So it's nice to know that there's always someone. And if you are going to, be in that field, it would be awesome because you have a lot of experience and you have the passion for it. So it's
Yes.
nice.
Thank you. So, yeah.
Okay, so on that note, we'd like to conclude this session of the Science Jam. And it was wonderful talking to you, Rishikesh. Thank you so much for joining us today and giving us such valuable insights. I think our new year has started off wonderfully well because of speaking to you and because of the Science Jam episode that is going to come out from this interaction. So thanks a lot. And we hope we'll catch up with you soon on your research and what you're up to with your leopards.
Sure, sure. And thank you guys for inviting me on this very wonderful initiative taken by my seniors. And I'm really proud of this initiative that my seniors are actually like juniors, not seniors. Juniors are actually doing some amazing work. And yeah, really happy for you and best of luck with this.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.